Welcome to our course Cross-Sell Using Neural Network. And in this part of our course, we will have the preliminary thing. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to import these different packages. And as you could see here, we have added some things. So for this one, the Seaborn as is in S is for our visualization and also the path or the matplotlib. And here just to set our style and this one for our context. And this matplotlib inline is to have the plotting inline, the plots inline. So we have here the sets for the options for our display. Say for example, if you're going to show a table, then we would like to display only the 1000 and the first 1000 rows. And also if we have the columns, of course, in some cases, we will be dealing with thousands, if not hundreds of columns. So if that happens, then we will just show the first 100 columns or the 100 columns. That's the maximum we can show. And also for the float, of course, we will be having some computations and we would like only to show 2 digits, right? Now, let's execute this one first. Let's wait for some few moments. Okay, it's done. Now, we're going to load the data set. So as you could see in this case, the 2 dots here, it means to say that this is in the same folder wherein we're going to save our notebook too. So, but if it's in a different folder, then you can also have a different format for this, or also you can have the complete address for this one. So let's execute this. Let's see. So we have here the data that we're going to analyze. So we have the ID, we have the age, the job, the marital status, or just the marital, the education, and so on and so forth. So a lot of them. So sometimes we would like to save our time and we would like to avoid an error, if not a lot of errors, while we are doing the analysis, especially when we are doing the preliminary thing. So as you could see in this case, ID is set in capital letters. So what I want to do is that I want everything to be in just a small case. So let me execute this one. So that means for x.lower, we would like to have the lowercase for all the columns in our data set. So let's check the columns. Okay, so as you could see, the ID here is now in small letters. Now this time we're going to check the data quality. So data quality is actually very important because this really adds more value to your analysis later on. And also in as much as early as this time or this part of the project, you have already checked the data quality. So what it means is you're going to check the types, you're going to check the duplicate values, you're going to check the missing values. So let's see first the shape of our data. So when we say shape, it is the number of columns, the number of rows. So in this case, we have 31,647 number of rows, and we have 18 features or columns. So by executing this one, we would be able to know tf.info. We will be able to know if we have missing data, and also we would be able to know the type of data sets, the type of data of each column. So let's execute this one and let's see. So we have the ID, it is in the integer. So something is wrong really in this case because the ID should be in the object types because we are not going to do any calculation for the ID. The age, of course, that must be the integer form. Job, it's okay. The marital status, it's okay. Education, it's okay. The balance, it's okay. Housing, loan, contact, it's okay. And the day here should be in object form. Okay. The month, because later on, of course, we are not going to do any computations for the day, unless if we are going to compute for the, shall we say, the interval. Okay. But let me see. Let's say that we are just going also to see the interval. So we are going to set this one into the integer. And so we can also see. But let us check first the day here. So 19, so not really much. The month, the date, right? Duration. Okay. So we will just set this one into object form. Okay. So we have found out that the ID and the day here are supposed to be in the object form. So let's execute this. And let's see if we have duplicate values. Or anyway, we have non-null values, 31,647. So this is good. So we don't have any null values, and that's good. So let's execute this. So there you go. We don't have any duplicated values. So this is a very good data set. In most cases, actually, in the real world, this happens, so obviously impossible to happen because there are actually a lot of missing values, a lot of duplicated values. So with that, you're going to do the imputation of the data set. We have different ways on how to do the imputation. Let's now go to the first part of our exploratory data analysis. So in this part, we will just divide the data set into two. First is the categorical and the numerical values. So for the categorical, we call that one dfcat, and for the dfnum, which is for the numerical value. So let's execute this one. Right. Do you want to know more about this channel? Just click these cards. We do have a lot of free data science courses for free, like Machine Learning Essentials, Deep Learning Mathematics, and a lot more. Here, you can always learn an upskill for free.